Warning: the following video contains opinions that may be disturbing to some viewers. Viewer discretion is advised.
In this video, I want to talk about 90 Day Fiance's Jeyme and Kris. Maybe another couple, but let's start with Jeyme and Kris because I feel like poor Jeyme got catfished. I feel like she had no idea what she was getting into with this woman. And who agrees to marry someone before they've actually met in person? Like, these two agreed to get married before they actually met in person. I get it. It was, the big C and everything, but no. Now she's seeing that, you know what? There are some things that she did not tell me, and that is what I want to talk about in this video. Hey, welcome back to my channel. My name is Debbie. I am the She in Sheality TV, and like I said in the intro today, I want to talk about Kris and Jeyme on 90 Day Fiance. Where do I start? Okay, so Kris, let's do the intro first. Okay, Kris and Jeyme. Kris is 40, living in the US. I believe she lives in Ohio, somewhere like that, small town where she couldn't really be who she wants to be, and who she wants to be is someone who's in a relationship with a female. And Jeyme lives in Colombia. They met online one day when Kris decided that she wanted to go on an international dating site, find someone to love, and she found Jeyme. So Kris is 40. She says, I'm 40 going on 20 because that's how I feel, in one of the confessionals. And then she says, and I look like it too. And clearly this woman is delusional because she does not look like a 20-year-old, but whatever. I feel like that's how some people justify going after someone who's much younger than them. Yeah, okay, whatever. So anyways, Kris and Jeyme met online. Jeyme lives in Colombia. She is younger than Kris, and they met online and established a virtual relationship. So they met in person for the first time in Jeyme's home country, like I said, Colombia. And after Kris sold her house and moved there, this is the first time they meet. After she sells her house and moves to Colombia is when they meet face to face for the first time, after they've already agreed to get married. Talk about dangerous. Do you know what I mean? And Jeyme is, I guess, now finding out that this is what you get when you don't know the person. You don't really know the person that you've agreed to marry, because while Kris was in the States and Jeyme was in Colombia, they had agreed to get married. Kris, tasked Jeyme with finding them an apartment. Okay. And Kris has agreed that she's going to pay all the bills because she just sold her house and blah, 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 blah. She's got the money. So, hey, Jeyme, go find us an apartment. We want to spend, $400 a month on an apartment. 400. I said 100, not 1,000. 400 a month. And Jeyme got them an apartment that was 500 a month instead. And Kris is feeling some type of way about that. Now, I get that. If I tell you go get us an apartment for $400 a month because I'm paying for it, and you got to go $100 over budget every month, then let me know before you sign that contract, right? Let's agree on it before you sign that contract. So Kris is kind of chapped because, now she's in this apartment that's $100 more a month than she told her fiance to get. And, they've decided, let's agree on what we're going to spend before we go and sign contracts or whatever. So that's fair enough. But as you get deeper into the episode, Kris starts to reveal things about herself that I'm just like, excuse me? Listen, there's nothing wrong with wanting to be a caregiver, but when you're tricked into being a caregiver, I feel like you have every right to say, yo, I'm sorry, I didn't sign up for this, because it feels to me like that's what Kris was looking for. Because when she gets to Colombia and she doesn't tell Jeyme until she gets there that she has narcolepsy. And honestly, I feel like to some degree she's not being entirely truthful. I don't feel like she has narcolepsy. I know that sounds weird to say, oh, well, I don't believe she has narcolepsy. I just don't, because how are you engaged to someone? How have you been in a relationship, be it online or not? How are you in a relationship with someone that you don't tell that you have something like narcolepsy? How do you never think to mention it, right? So on some level, I feel like Jeyme got catfished because Kris reveals that she has a whole lot of other problems. Like, she was in a car accident and she was in a hospital because she had a neck problem. And then a week after she gets out of the hospital, from what I understand, what I heard on the show, she said that she was in the hospital. It sounded like she was in the hospital for a week. And then on her way home from the hospital, she got rear-ended. And that gave her, I don't know. This woman, all of the stuff that she says, I don't know. You know, when you get the feeling that someone is lying as they're telling you a story, that's how I feel about Kris, right? Then she says that she's allergic to mint, so she can't have mint toothpaste. She's got to have bubble gum. Like, what? What the fuck? Like, what? Yeah, I don't know. None of it made sense to me, right? And then when they go to the drugstore to get her mint toothpaste or non-mint toothpaste, quote unquote, she tells her that she needs, this prescription. This is what my doctor says that I need to have. My doctor in the state says that I need to have for my neck. And then she goes on to describe, her neck issue, that she needs surgery for this neck problem, and it's going to get progressively worse to the point where she can't even turn her head. And then she'll decide whether or not she is going to have this. I'm just like, yeah, you know what, dog? I'm feeling like you got catfished. I'm feeling like poor little Jeyme got catfished. Maybe not looks wise, but she got catfished because she got rooked into being a caregiver for this woman who says she's 40. So now that she's revealed all of these other things about herself, I don't believe her age either, right? And she thinks she looks like a 20-year-old. What she thinks is that she's older than 40 because she says she's 40. What I think is that she's older than 40 and is going to say that, oh, I feel like I look 20. No, you're older than 40 and you look like you might be about 40. You know what I mean? That's how I feel about Kris. I feel like there are a whole lot of things that she's not telling Jeyme about herself, and now she's telling her these things. Okay, I gotta back up a bit. That scene where she tells her about night terrors, that by the way, sometimes I have night terrors, so you might get kicked. I'd be like, bitch, get out of my bed. She'd be on the next plane home. I don't care if you sold your house. I don't care if you have money. I don't care that you actually moved here. The audacity for me is that she moved to Jeyme's country, knowing that she has all these problems, but didn't tell her about any of them. Like, I'm sorry. No, Jeyme, girl, run. Run, because these are the things that she's telling you about. What about all the shit that she hasn't told you, right? Like, how dare you get into a relationship with her, agree to marry her? You guys are getting married. You bring her a wedding dress and shoes and all that kind of stuff, and then you tell her you have all these problems? No. I feel like, now you guys tell me how you feel about this. Let me know in the comments. I feel like Jeyme has every right to say, yo, this is not what I signed up for. I didn't sign up to be a caregiver. And clearly that's what you were looking for. Now, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with Kris looking for a caregiver, but she needed to lead with that, right? She needed to lead with, hey, you know what? These are my issues. Eventually, this is what's going to happen to me. And I kind of feel like, the person that I'm with needs to be okay with that. You need to tell her that before you guys agree to get married. And now the poor girl feels like she's trapped, right? And she's only talking about the narcolepsy, right? On camera, she hasn't said the night terrors. Excuse me, night terrors? Like that would scare the shit out of me. I'm sorry. Especially because you guys are strangers. You are strangers. Like, Jeyme, understand this woman is a stranger and she tricked you, right? But I kind of feel like this is why Kris has agreed to pay all the bills, right? To hold on to Jeyme. If Kris was to say, you know what? Yeah, I want to split all the bills and da-da-da-da. And oh, by the way, I have all of these problems. And you are eventually going to be, for all Jeyme knows, she is eventually going to be her arms, her legs, you know what I mean? She's going to be having to carry her to the washroom and clean her backside. And like, you know what I mean? She doesn't know the depth of these issues. So yeah, I'm sorry, guys. I feel like Jeyme, bye-bye. Say your goodbyes. Get rid of this woman because you've been catfished. You have been catfished. And I think that Jeyme knows. She's starting to understand that, this woman has a lot of problems that she didn't tell me about. And my ass got catfished. That's how I feel. I feel like she totally catfished her. And there are more things that Kris hasn't told Jeyme. And I feel like she actually may have a drug problem. She always seems kind of, I don't know. But yeah, she's dropped a lot on her up to this point. But I feel like there's more. I feel like there's a lot more about Kris that she hasn't told Jeyme. And I feel like Jeyme should run. Girl, get out. If you haven't already gotten out, you need to get out. Let me know your thoughts, guys. Again, as usual, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. And I will see you next time.